Hello students, welcome back. Welcome to today's session. Today we are going to take a very important chapter, that is alternating current. This particular name, alternating, what exactly alternates? Why only current? So such questions come to our mind, and if you understand the name, 80% of the problem is solved. So let us try to analyze what exactly is alternating current. The fundamental of this particular topic lies in electromagnetic induction. If you remember, in the previous class we had seen a topic by the name factors affecting induced EMF. In that we had seen that magnetic flux phi is given by B dot A. This is what is the expression for the magnetic flux. Now this we can extend it as B A cos theta. We can write it this way. So now if you remember, we had argued that all those factors which are there in the expression of magnetic flux, when they are changed, magnetic flux changes, EMF gets induced. Then we concluded if there is a change in magnetic field B, flux changes, EMF is induced. If there is a change in area, flux changes, EMF is induced. If there is a change in orientation of the coil, then also there is an flux change, EMF gets induced. So here the third factor, that is a change in orientation, is what we are concerned with. Now here d phi by dt will be what? D phi by dt. See, we will write this as d by dt of BA cos theta. Fine. Is B changing? No. So B can be taken outside. Is A changing? No. So that can also be taken outside. The derivative d by dt of cos theta. What will be d by dt of cos theta? It is BA. Cos will give us minus sin theta, and d theta by dt will come, because you will apply chain rule, because here the variable is t and here the variable is theta. You cannot simply write cos theta, or in other words minus sin theta. Now what is d theta by dt? D theta by dt is angular velocity, so omega, and we can write here as sin theta. Now minus d phi by dt we can write as B A omega sin theta. What is minus d phi by dt? It is induced EMF, that we have seen, that minus of d phi by dt is induced EMF. So therefore we can say induced EMF is B A omega sin theta. This is what we can write. So if sin theta is 1, that is the maximum value of sin theta, so we can say E max is B A omega. So therefore we can say E is equal to E max sin theta. See, we get the expression for induced EMF this way. E is equal to, or you can write this way. In some books you will find it is written as E is E naught sin theta. That's one and the same thing, representation. Now very important thing. Now what we can do is, if theta is 0 degree, how much is E? E will be 0. Sin 0 is 0. If theta is 90 degrees, how much is E? E is E naught. If theta is 180 degrees. How much is E? Again it is 0. If theta is 270 degree, so that is 3 pi by 2. How much is E? Minus of E naught. Finally, if theta is 360 degree, how much is E? This is 0. Plot this what we have found out. If I try to plot what we have found out, then what we see is, what is the nature of the graph that we get? If we try to plot it, then observe, here I am plotting theta and here I am plotting E. So let us say this is our plus E naught. Let us say this is minus E naught. Now this is 0. This is pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. Plot the graph. When theta is 0, E is 0. So we are here. When theta is pi by 2, we have plus E naught. Pi by 2 plus E naught. When theta is pi, it is 0. We are here. And when it is 3 pi by 2 minus, so we are here. And 2 pi, we are here. Join the points with a smooth curve. Smooth curve. So what we find is, we are finding one positive lobe, one we are finding negative lobe. What is the meaning? This means, if I say that this complete, this if I say one time period, then this will be half time period. Then what we conclude? We conclude that the direction of the induced EMF is reversing every half cycle. See, T by 2. So we can project now, next half it will be what? Positive. See? Positive, negative means that every half cycle the direction is reversing, alternating. That is why alternating. This is alternating EMF divided by resistance of the coil, you get alternating current. So what alternates? Polarity of that current source is reversing every half cycle. So what we can say, T by 2. That is exactly what is the meaning of alternating current. Here we got EMF, na? So if you say you want current, no problem. Now current I is equal to E by R. So that is what? E naught sin theta by R. So therefore we can say I is equal to E naught by R is written as I naught sin theta. See. So we see that I is also a function of sine. We have already seen EMF is also a function of sine. Both of them are sine function. So if you plot I in this graph, what will be the nature of the graph? The nature will be same. See, it is same. Only thing is its amplitude will be small. Why? Because, see here, E naught, see, this much is E naught, na? E naught is divided by a number which is greater than 1. Therefore, I naught will be lesser than E naught. You see, this graph is for I, this graph is for your induced EMF. Both are sine functions, see. So if I try to extend this, it will also go this way, see. So what we find, again, current is also reversing its polarity every half cycle. That is what is alternating current. Now, what is the practical significance of this? In order to understand the practical significance, students, you have seen a 3-point plug at home. In the 3-point plug, which whenever you connect any device, have you ever seen a plus and minus mentioned in it? No. AC devices will not have plus and minus mentioned, but all DC devices will have plus and minus terminal mentioned. Like say for example, torch. In a torch, when you put a dry cell, in the dry cell, observe it, there will be a plus and minus mentioned. You have to place it accordingly. You cannot change the orientation. But in a AC source, if you mark it as plus and minus, the next instant plus will become minus, because we see that it alternates. That is why AC devices are never marked plus and minus. Polarities are never marked in AC devices. Only in DC devices you will find polarity mentioned. Like if you remember in the circuit diagrams, when you draw batteries, cells as a source of EMF, you mention plus and minus, but in AC we will not mention. This is exactly what we have as expression for the current and expression for the EMF. Both are function of this. You can also write the two expressions this way. You can write E is equal to E naught sine of omega t also you can write. You can also write it this way, E naught sine of 2 pi ft. You can also write it this way. See, frequency, it is a function of frequency, and that is why if you remember household mains, you have 230 volts, 220 volts, 50 hertz. This 50 hertz is what? That 50 hertz is this. This F is 50 hertz. In the numericals, they will give you a source, 220 volt, 50 hertz. This means it is an AC source. Don't expect everything will be explicitly stated in the question. No, you have to draw some inferences from the data which is given in the question. So, suppose that it is given a source of 220 volt, 50 hertz. This source is a AC source. Suppose it is given a source of 100 volt, no frequency is given, that is DC source. So that is why in the numericals this is also one way of testing how nicely the students have understood the concept. Now suppose if it is a DC, what will be the variation of induced or the voltage with T? It will be a straight line because it does not vary with time. So how can it change? Say for example, you have a dry cell. Each dry cell is capable of giving an EMF of 1.2 volts, 1.5 volts, let us say. 1.5 volt is constant. It will not change with time. That is what the variation. So it will be a straight line if you plot. So frequency of DC source is 0, very important. This will be extensively used in numericals. And frequency of AC is given as F. That is how we can. Same way you can write the expression for current also. I can also be written as I naught sine of omega t. I can also be written as I naught sine of 2 pi ft. That is how expressions for alternating current, alternating EMF is to be recorded. Now the question is, since it is varying with time, what is the magnitude of induced EMF? How will you find? Can we say E naught is the magnitude of induced EMF, this EMF? I naught is the value of current? Can we say that? No, we cannot say that. Why? Because see, the value of E naught exists only at this time. Little before and little after, it is not E naught. It is not E naught. And observe, at a given time it is becoming 0 also. So what is the value of this alternating EMF? How will you find? So this is the next topic. Next topic of our discussion is this. So how to measure alternating current or alternating EMF? Well students, now let us see how to measure or represent alternating current or voltage. We have seen this is the variation of EMF, let us say with time. Then can we say, see here, at a given instant t1, here we have E1. At a given instant t2, we have EMF E2. See, at every instant the magnitude of the voltage EMF is changing. Then how to represent? So the representation of alternating current or EMF is done in two ways. One is known as effective value. The other is known as average value. Effective value of an AC or another way is average value of an AC. These are two methods by which we can represent. Like how we say in DC 1.5 volt fixed. How can we say what is the value here? What is effective value? So effective value, in order to measure effective value, we are using one property, that is heat. We are using heat to measure the effective value of AC. Because why heat only of all parameters? Why we are using heat? Because heat is that kind of energy which does not depend upon direction of flow of current. What is the meaning? If say this is a conductor, if current flows from this end to this end, then there is heating. It doesn't mean you reverse the direction of current from this end to this end, it will start cooling. No. It will heat also. This means heating effect of electric current is independent of direction of flow of current. If the direction of flow of current is altered, doesn't mean heat will convert to cool. No. So the parameter which we are using to measure effective value of AC is heat. We are using our reference as heat. Heat generated in a resistor. So how do we measure? Heat generated in AC, heat generated in DC. This is the base for measurement of effective value of AC. How? Effective value of an AC is that steady current which when passed through a given resistor for a given time produces the same amount of heat as an AC through the same resistor in the same time. See, we are keeping time constant, R constant, and we are comparing strength of currents. So how do we do that? By using Joule's law. So heat generated in DC. What is the heat generated in DC? We will call it as I square RT in one cycle. I square RT is the amount of heat generated in a DC. Now what happens in an AC? Closely observe. If I plot the graph for current, see at this instant T1 current is I1. At this instant T2 current is I2. So can we say that current is same, that you will have I square RT at every instant? Current is different. If at every instant current is different, at first instant I1 square R T1 we will say. At the other instant H2 I2 square R T2 you will say. Like this you see all the instants currents are different and we will get heat. Now in one complete cycle, what will be the heat? Total heat? Heat is a scalar quantity. Scalar addition of all the heat at specific instants is to be done. So we can say that total heat will be H1 plus H2 plus H3 like this up to one cycle. Addition. Now this is summation. What kind of function is current with time? Continuous function. When we have continuous function, summation is to be done by which method? Integration. So we have to go for integration. If the function is not continuous, if it is discrete, discontinuous, then we go for sigma as summation. But here we find that the function of current, variation of current and voltage with time is continuous function. In continuous function, summation is found out by integration. So how will you find HAC? It is integration of I square R dt from 0 to t. This is what will be the heat generated in one complete cycle. So our aim is to find how much is this and try to correlate these two. Now let us try to evaluate these two. So to evaluate these two, we must know what is integration, right? So here HAC is R, I'll take outside I square and we have dt from 0 to t. Now what is I? We know I is I naught sine of omega t. You have to square it. So square sine square dt from 0 to t. Now integrate this. I naught square is constant. R integration of sine square omega t dt from 0 to t. This is your heat generated in AC. When you integrate sine square omega t, sine square omega t cannot be integrated like normally what you do in differentiation. Higher powers of trigonometric term cannot be integrated. So what we will do is we will bring down the power of sine square omega t and you will write this as I naught square R by 2 integration of 1 minus cos 2 omega t dt. Now it can be integrated. When you integrate this, you will get this as I naught square R t by 2. This is what you will get. I hope you know the integration. Integration of 1 will be taken as t and this will be sine 2 omega t upon 2 omega. Over a complete cycle, sine 2 omega is a constant continuous function, so it will become 0. So you will get t by 2. That is what we are getting. So now try to evaluate. What we have? H dc, H AC. So I square R T is equal to I naught square R T by 2. So what we have now? R T cancels out. So what we get? I is equal to, this is the effective value of AC. Effective value of AC. This is, or you can, for EMF also you can write E is equal to E naught by root 2. Same thing. So I naught is what? Peak value by root 2. How much will be that? It is 0.707. This is 0.70. Multiply and divide by root 2. You will get root 2 by 2. Root 2 is 1.414. By 2 is 0.707. So effective value, it is also known as RMS value. What is RMS value? You have done this word. You have come across this word RMS. RMS value is nothing but square root of mean of squared value of AC. You have done this in kinetic theory, I guess. RMS velocity. So that same RMS. RMS stands for root of mean of squared velocities. Here root of mean of squared currents or voltages. That is exactly what is the meaning of RMS. So RMS of an AC is same as effective value of an AC, and that is nothing but 0.707 times I naught. That is also same as 70.7% of peak value. So students, if it is asked 220 volts 50 hertz is the representation of household mains, then that 220 volt represents what? It represents RMS value. It is not peak value. It is effective value of an AC. Unless until it is given that the peak value of an AC, a peak value of a source is 220 volts. If it is given to you a source is 220 volt 50 hertz, then that 220 volt is to be taken as RMS value or the effective value. So students, how do you define this? You get in boards. Definition: define effective value of an AC. So effective value of an AC is that steady current which produces the same amount of heat in a resistor in a given time as an AC would through the same resistor in the same time. So see, we have kept R same. R we have kept same in the 2. Time also we have kept the same thing. T also, see here when we integrated we took one complete cycle. Time period is same. Then we are trying to compare the strength of current in AC as well as DC, which will produce the same amount of heat. That is what is the basic definition of effective value of AC. Second thing is, which quantity is used for measuring effective or the RMS value of AC? It is the heating effect of electric current which is used to measure the effective value of AC. How much will be the effective value of AC? 70.7% of the peak value. Remember that. Suppose that in our household mains it is given that 220 volt, say 220 volt, 50 hertz. Pick up any device. Pick up any device, in that it will be mentioned ratings of that device. Ratings means what? It is the rated voltage which it can withstand, not above that, and the frequency which it can withstand. Now 220 volt, this is the RMS value. RMS value. So what we will say? E is equal to E naught by root 2. So what will be the peak value? So the peak value E naught will be 220 root 2 volts. This is the peak value. This is EMF. This is 220 volts. So 220 root 2 will become the peak value. So 220 is not the peak value, remember. And this is the reason why we say that we have to be very careful when we record the data. If it is given just like this, then it is to be taken as RMS. Otherwise, we have to take it as peak value if it is mentioned there. That is about your effective value of AC. Now let us see what is the meaning of average value of an AC. So if you try to plot this effective value, where will it come? This is your AC, right? So this is your peak value. Okay, 70.7% is somewhere here. This is your 0.707 E naught. This will be the RMS value of an AC, whether it is voltage or current. Now students, let us see what is the meaning of average value of an AC. If we see the graph or the variation is like this. This is E naught, correct? And this is minus E naught. Now, if I take one complete cycle, as we took in average value in effective value, we took one complete cycle. Here if I take one complete cycle, what will be the average value? Average will come 0. Very simple. Why? See, this is plus E naught and here also you have minus E naught. Sum is how much? 0. You have one positive value here. Equivalent negative value is existing here also, na? What will be the addition? 0. So every ordinate, because it is a continuous function, so what we can say? Every positive ordinate is having corresponding negative ordinate. So average value in one complete cycle will be 0. So can we say that on an average, the current that is coming to your household is 0? Is it possible? It's not possible. Then what can we say? Is this wrong? No. What we are supposed to do is, in case of effective value, we took one complete cycle, now I will take half cycle. Because it is symmetrical, I will take half cycle. Why to take complete cycle? See, whatever value you have here, same value you have here. What is the difference? Minus sign. Only the sign differs. That's all. So if I say magnitude, it is one and the same thing. That is the reason why we are taking half cycle. Now, this is one reason, one aspect of it. Second aspect, which quantity are we using to measure average value? Can we measure heat? No. So here what we are using? We are using charge. We are using charge as the criteria for measuring average value of AC. See here. You have done capacitors. Now see, for half cycle, the plate which is positive will become negative in the other half. Correct? So if you take complete one cycle, then where is the charge deposited? Charge is not getting deposited. That is why we are taking half cycle. This is one reason. Another reason. And because of this reason only, you have studied chemical effects of electric current, I guess Faraday's laws of electrolysis. What kind of source is used in electrolysis? We are not using AC source, we are using DC source. Why? Because the electrode which is positive, next half it becomes negative. So the electrodes cannot be defined. You cannot define a particular electrode as cathode and anode, because cathode after some time becomes anode and anode becomes cathode. So where is a question of chemical reaction going on? That is why compulsorily there we are using DC source, so that your electrodes will be defined. Next, electroplating. In electroplating also, we cannot use AC source, because again the one on which you are depositing metal will reverse after half cycle. It will extract the metal from that particular electrode. So where is the electroplating happening? No electroplating will happen. That is why in electroplating also we are using DC, not AC. So these are the conceptual questions which will be there in reasoning questions. So be careful. Now, to find average value, we are using the charge as our criteria. So, charge deposited by a given DC in a capacitor, given capacity, in a given time, is compared with the charge deposited by an AC in the same capacitor in the same time. That is what is the mathematical treatment of average value of AC. So how do you define average value of AC? Average value of an AC is that steady current which would deposit the same amount of charge in a given capacitor in the same time as a DC would in the same capacitor in the same time. That is exactly how the basic definition of average value goes. So we are comparing, we have one capacitor and I have two different kind of sources. One is a function of time, one is not a function of time. What I will do is, using these two sources, I have kept the capacitor same, I am keeping time also constant. I will pass the two currents to deposit same amount of charge. What is the strength of current required? That compares average value of AC. Mathematically we have QDC. Q is what? I into T, because I is Q by T, na? So Q is what? I into T. So let us say I, we are taking half cycle. Time period is half cycle. So we have IC. In AC we will have again integration. If you remember in the previous one we did the same thing, because it is a continuous function, summation is given by integration. So this is I dt from 0 to T by 2, as simple as that. I dt from 0 to T by 2. Now, when you integrate this, what you will get? I into T by 2 is, I is what? I naught sine of omega t dt from 0 to T by 2. This is a very simple integration. I naught integration of sine of omega t dt from 0 to T by 2. So this gives us I naught. Sine omega t will give you what? Minus of cos of omega t by omega. And this is from 0 to T by 2. This is what we have. Now you can take minus common. I naught omega. Omega is 2 pi by t. We can take it this way. Cos omega is 2 pi by t. Upper limit t by 2 minus cos 0, because t is 0. So what you will get? T cancels, 2 cancels. Cos pi is minus 1. So what we get now? Minus I naught t by 2 pi into minus 2. So what we get now? I into t by 2 is equal to I naught into t by pi. So I average is equal to 2 upon pi into I naught. See, this is how we can find the average value of any AC. Here it is current. You can write average value of EMF is also 2 by pi of peak value. This is how either we can represent fluctuating source. Fluctuating source means what? Function of time. With time it changes. That is why normally we say, at household electricity, voltage is fluctuating. See, what is the meaning? Because it is not constant with time. So we say voltage fluctuation. So function of time. Of course, it is not a fixed function. That is why we say fluctuation. Out here, we have a time period constant. It reverses every half cycle. In such fluctuating sources, the value of that alternating source is measured either by RMS value of AC or by the average value of AC. This will be used in the numericals depending on what is given, the data. Be very careful about the data.